Hello and welcome to our Technical Assistance Cohort info session for the Pacific Northwest Rural Housing Preservation Academy, hosted by Enterprise. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to log in, so we will start promptly at 10:02. So just to take a minute to get everybody logged in and on the webinar. Okay, it looks like a good number of folks are on the call. I'm Robin Wolf. I'm the Senior Program Director at Enterprise Community Partners, and we'll be facilitating this session today to talk about the technical assistance cohort that is associated with Pacific Northwest Rural Housing Preservation Academy, which will be launching in March, and the application for the technical assistance cohort is open right now. I have a few housekeeping notes for you. The webinar is being recorded. You should have heard that when you logged in, and all audience members are muted when they log in. Please use the chat feature to submit questions during the presentation. And after the presentation, we can open up the lines for Q&A using that chat feature or the raise hand feature. We can always allow you to speak at that point. All participants will receive a copy of the webinar recording and PowerPoint slides and a follow-up email, and they'll be accessible to you if you need them, or if you have colleagues or partners who might want to access this information later, please let us know. And of course, I hope that you're patient with technical difficulties or anything that we might experience as we come to you virtually, although I do hope we've gotten most of those kinks worked out. On that end, to support us here on this call and in all of our calls hosted by the Rural and Native American Program team is my colleague, Adrian Norwood. Adrian will be assisting me in fielding chat, Q&A, and also can field questions as they come via email from you as well. As I said, my name is Robin Wolf, and I work with Enterprise Community Partners. At Enterprise, our mission is to make home and community places of pride, power, and belonging, and platforms for resilience and upward mobility at all. We do this through three lenses: the increasing housing supply. This includes preservation and productions of affordable homes, advancing racial equity, and building resilience and upward mobility. The Rural and Native American Program team provides funding and training, along with technical assistance to organizations to help them create healthy, safe, green, and affordable housing in both rural and Native American communities. And our priorities consist of preserving affordable rural rental housing through technical assistance and the delivery of trainings and peer learning sessions designed to help rural housing providers. So what is Enterprise doing to promote this work? Part of that is the Rural Preservation Academy, which will be coming to the Pacific Northwest region. And that is part of our Rural and Native American Program initiative. That is a team of 5 enterprisers who field that work primarily, supported by partners in our local market offices. We also have Section 4 capacity building grants, training and technical assistance, including capacity building for CDCs, CHODOs, tribal nonprofits, the Rural Preservation Academy, the TA contract with, we work with USDA on maturing mortgages and 515 transfers, and right now, the creation of the Pacific Northwest Technical Assistance Cohort. I want to launch this conversation, though, with a quick poll. If you could please answer, and Adrian, if you could launch that poll, just a quick question about where everybody is hailing from today. I'll give everyone a couple minutes. Great, it looks like almost everybody's weighed in on this. A good number from Oregon. The biggest contingent seems to be Washington folks here on this call. And yay for our Alaska representative and our Alaska group that's on this call too. We're excited to have Alaska and Idaho as part of this regional convening and part of this cohort too. So welcome to all. I think it's funny how it says that Washington is winning. I don't know if it's about winning in this particular poll, but you guys get highlighted in red. So we'll close that off. Next up, I want to talk about the technical assistance cohort specifically. What is the technical assistance cohort? So we have launched what is a specific TA opportunity, which will be associated with the Pacific Northwest Preservation Academy. The Academy came out of a need for really understanding that local groups, particularly housing authorities and nonprofit organizations that serve rural communities throughout the country, were having a hard time preserving in finding ways to preserve 515 housing. And as we worked on that project, kind of seeing that more broadly 202, 811 housing, other or even naturally occurring affordable housing in rural communities could be really at risk. So the Preservation Academy was launched in 2018 in Texas to help us really get some education out to folks about what they could do and to help folks make connections. Last year, 2020, we had the Preservation Academy in Colorado, and with that, we added a technical assistance cohort, which is really kind of a cadre of, here in Colorado, it was 10 groups, but we're opening it up to 15 groups that will be able to learn from one another, have deep dive sessions on content of the Preservation Academy, and also get one-on-one targeted technical assistance through Enterprise and through other consulting partners that we bring on to help support this work. So to make sure that you have the right experts at the table. And as part of the technical assistance cohort, that TA will be brought to you free of charge to your organization. So the requirements for being part of the technical assistance cohort are that it must be a housing-focused nonprofit or housing authority in the states of Washington, Oregon, Alaska, or Idaho, which seems like so far that's who we've got on the call. Awarded applicants will receive direct TA, as I said, so that means like one-on-one, depending upon the needs of the organization, might be monthly, it might be quarterly, follow up on specific projects, financial analysis on specific projects. It could be about identification of properties for acquisition or for rehab. And then also there is the ability to apply for pre-development funding through Enterprise's Section 4 Rural Program. And we will have about 15 organizations selected, and the goal is to reflect all states in the designated region. So meaning I am hopeful that we will have participants from all 4 states as part of this technical assistance cohort, and we will be able to draw and learn from one another in a peer network. It is also possible as part of the TA cohort, we might start building subgroups for some deeper dives on specific opportunities in a given region. I see that there's a question up. Our organization focuses on housing among other areas. Do we meet this requirement? Victoria, I might need I believe so. It doesn't have to, it can be anywhere in those states. I just want to make sure that there's active work happening in the states of the region to be part of the TA cohort. And let me know in a follow-up if that didn't quite answer your question. Next up. And then I will work to get to the rest of the questions as we're moving on. No, and okay, thank you, Victoria, for the clarification. No, you do not need to be only housing. You just have to have housing as part of your mission. Technical assistance cohort. Why do you want to be part of it? TA will is designed here to build capacity while working on specific or individual projects. So let's say you have a project where you're looking right now to preserve or rehab a 515 property that is already in your portfolio, or someone's come up to you with an opportunity. That would be a kind of perfect example of what could be happening here. It also just going on like feasibility analysis, if that's the right thing to purchase. All of those pieces are part of what can be provided through TA. There's peer-to-peer learning, because there will be 15 groups, many of which will be nearby to you, working with a similar funding sources, and we'll also have folks from housing finance authorities and the states where you work. In these calls, you'll have the opportunity to really draw on peer-to-peer learning and get really tailored information for your project, as opposed to a national kind of conversation where it would be harder to kind of hone in on what might specifically be available for the state of Oregon, or specifically be available for the state of Washington or Idaho or Alaska. And then also the ability to draw on expertise from national leaders here at Enterprise, and actually externally, specializing in things like USDA RD, HUD, LIHTC, and new markets tax credits. This kind of gets at our approach for the framework and ways in where the technical assistance can be applied, either on the identification of homes, pre-development, which is all that kind of feasibility analysis and assessment, looking at project financials, particularly as it comes to refinance, and things of that sort, acquisition. Those two can go hand in hand. Often pre-development tasks are needed for acquisition pieces. The rehab itself, if rehab is what is part of the scope, which often is given the age of many projects. And then what we call stewardship, which is ongoing management, compliance, and all of those things that it takes and that we do day to day to make sure that people have safe, healthy places to live. And then on the application process, there's a call for applications. It's out right now. Adrian, if you could share the link to that in the chat, that would be helpful, just to make sure that that's available to everyone. And then we are having this informational webinar. That's where you are today. Applications are due January 29th, and notification of selection will be in early February. I do want to note that you do not have to be selected to be part of the technical assistance cohort to participate in any of the sessions for the Rural Preservation Academy for the Pacific Northwest. Meaning all, which probably will be about 14 different webinars starting in March and going through October. All of those are open to anyone, any organization. You do not have to be part of this cohort. You do not have to submit an application. Simply register for each session by topic. The cohort will participate in all those sessions, but there will be additional information provided. And so I just really want to clarify in the additional technical assistance that you do not have to be part of the technical assistance cohort to take part in the Preservation Academy itself. We got a few questions via email, and I just want to make sure that we answer those questions. One is that is the opportunity apply only to properties that a nonprofit already owns, or that is nearing an early exit timeframe and needs to be reviewed in order to retain the subsidy in place. While that is how this was originally configured, that is not the confines of this particular program. No, that is not. That's a great example of something we could work on, but the opportunity you could apply if you're just looking to identify some properties that you want to buy, or if you have seen an opportunity to collaborate with maybe you're a nonprofit organization to collaborate with the housing authority in order to do something in collaboration. That would be something we would like to look at with you as well and help you with. So it is not, you do not have to own a property and have something in place for this technical assistance opportunity. Again, also, I want to stress, you're probably familiar that Enterprise does have 515 USDA technical assistance available to anyone already through the USDA 515 program, or has in this past year. This would also be open to, again, naturally occurring affordable housing, or like market rate that you want to make sure is preserved to be affordable. And also HUD like 202, looking at RAD for PRAC and rural communities, or some other solutions such as that. And will the application, oh, this question came up and I wanted to make sure this was answered as well. Will the application be fillable, or can we submit our own version of the template to the application? There's a lot of like property questions that we have in the application. And to the best of your ability, answer it. It can be, if you already have a table that speaks to as long as it kind of meets all the needs of that table, that's fine. We will work to get a fillable PDF updated in there. But if you have another form or another spreadsheet you use that helps to answer that question, that's also okay. We want to make sure we're not creating a lot of extra work for you. So, but we do need a baseline of what's in your organization's portfolio, so we understand what capacity growth is needed and where we're helping you, what we're helping you achieve at the end. And that is the body of this presentation today. The main intent of this conversation is to really ask questions. So please feel free to use the Q&A and the chat feature to ask any questions. I did see that Adrian did share via chat the application link. Has anybody had any questions about the application as they access that link? Or is there anything else that we can help you with? I'll give folks a minute or two to let us know via Q&A or the chat if they have any questions. Okay, I don't see anything. Adrian, do you see anything coming in?
No, I don't. Oh,
Kate, wait, hold on. Kate has a hand raised. Yes. Would you like to? I'm going to open it up so you can ask, Kate.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was typing it in. I just type really slow.
That's great.
Thank you for having the webinar today. I just wanted to double check under submission requirements and evaluation criteria. It says in part of the narrative that it needs to include existing agency programs. I just wanted to make sure that that is programs that we actively provide to our residents and to our projects. Is that correct?
Yeah, so let's say if you do housing counseling or you do tenant counseling as part of your programs, that could be included. If you're actively developing, that could be included as a program. Any of the kind of core pieces of work that you do as your organization.
Great, thank you very much.
No problem. Any other questions? And we figured out how to do the raise hand, so we can do that for you as well. Need. Okay, I think that, hold on, I have something else in the Q&A, Rob. Is the Colorado Academy still ongoing? And if so, how can folks interested in Northwest Academy? No, Rob, the Colorado Academy is complete, but there are recordings of the Colorado Academy sessions available on the Enterprise resource page online if you're interested. The TA cohort, of course, like individual TA sessions are not recorded, nor are we did have a few what I would call study sessions or deep dive cohort sessions. One was on just kind of like basic pro forma development, things along those lines. Those are also not available on the website, but the main sessions of the Colorado Preservation Academy that were open to the public are available on our website. And it looks like Adrian just sent that out. And I believe that is everything. So I will give everyone some time back today. If you have any questions whatsoever, please do not hesitate to email me. My email, just put into the chat, is robinwolf@enterprisecommunity.org, and or Adrian A. Norwood at enterprisecommunity.org. We're both available to answer whatever questions you might have of us. We're really excited about what has come out of the cohort in the past, about the projects we've been able to support folks with, and about the work that we're able to do going forward in a different region. So I welcome any calls, any emails, and any questions that you might have, just to make sure that you're moving forward. And should you not think that the TA cohort is a good fit, I really encourage you just to kind of take part in individual sessions of the Preservation Academy. One more thing I do want to make sure to add, if you do take part in the technical assistance cohort, we do want to stress that someone from your organization should be at every session of the Preservation Academy, meaning there is a commitment of about 14 meetings that last around 2 hours every other week starting in March. So something for you to be aware of in terms of capacity. Of course, if there's like extenuating circumstances for why you have to miss one meeting, that's something we can talk through, but it is part of the commitment, and that you're also willing then to meet one-on-one for this actual TA. And yes, if you miss a session, you can watch a recording later. We can figure out things like that. And it does not always have to be the same person. Maybe there's a development director, maybe there's executive directors that take part. We had a session on property management. In the last academy, it might be that you have your property managers take part in those sessions. So just the idea that we want as much representation as possible. And so Amber, I hope that answered your question about a backup in the case of primary person. Yes, of course. Also, your organizations, as part of the cohort or just anyone, can send as many people to a session as they would like. And if our application is not accepted, will we be offering this again? We won't be offering this same exact TA cohort opportunity again, but we do have, well, we hope to have more technical assistance available for USDA 515 programs through the USDA program later in the year. That is currently closed out right now. So the primary way to access that TA would be through this cohort application. Okay, I think we've answered all of those questions. So, as I said before, we will close out, give you 30 minutes back of your day. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and please feel free to reach out to me as needed. Thank you.